25 things you didn't know about Melania. In Slovenia, I was a catalog model, which is what you call a model you order out of a catalog. I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money. Every time I look at my husband, I'm reminded of the Slovenian national dish. a fat, greasy sausage filled with cheese.
Hello everyone, Bill Maher, the sharp-tongued host of HBO's Real Time, isn't known for holding back, and his latest comedy segment was no exception. This time, his focus was Melania Trump, a figure who's always drawn a mix of fascination and criticism. Maher's jokes hit hard, sending his audience into fits of laughter, but not everyone was laughing, especially Donald Trump, who fired back in classic fashion. What followed was another heated exchange blending politics, comedy, and the never-ending debate over free speech. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Maher began by mocking Melania's famously quiet and distant public image. "Melania Trump is like a Bond villain's wife," he said. "She's beautiful, mysterious, and you're never quite sure if she even likes her husband." The crowd laughed, but the line reflected a long-standing view of Melania as cold or disconnected during her time as First Lady. He then took aim at her controversial "I really don't care, do you?" jacket worn during a visit to detain migrant children at the US-Mexico border. "Most First Ladies show empathy," Maher joked. Melania wore a $39 Zara jacket that basically said, "This is all beneath me." The joke drew both claps and awkward laughter, a reminder of how much that moment still lingers in people's minds. Next, Maher brought up her lack of presence in Trump's 2024 campaign. "She's like a reverse Michelle Obama," he quipped. "Instead of when they go low, we go high. It's more like when they go campaign,
Maybe
I go
it
to
falls
Mar-a-Lago
to
and
you
stay
now,
out of it."
Melania.
The jab fit
You
with the
can end
public
this reign
perception
of
that
terror, and
Melania
all you have to
prefers
do is
staying
channel
out of the
your inner
political
Taylor
spotlight.
Swift and walk out the door.
Unsurprisingly, Donald Trump didn't take the comments lightly. Known for quickly lashing out when his family is targeted, he responded on Truth Social. Bill Maher, a no-talent loser whose show is dying, just made disgusting comments about my wife Melania, Trump wrote. "She's far smarter and classier than he'll ever be." He called Maher a failed comedian who only appeals to the radical left. The post quickly made waves online. Trump's supporters praised his defense, while critics saw it as just another dramatic overreaction. Regardless, the backlash only gave Maher's jokes more attention. This led to renewed debate. Should comedians be allowed to joke about political spouses, or are there boundaries they shouldn't cross? Maher's fans argued that no one close to power should be off limits. Melania was the First Lady. One person tweeted, "If you can't handle jokes, maybe don't marry someone who puts you in the national spotlight for 8 years." Others pointed out that Maher has gone after people across the political spectrum, from Hillary Clinton to Ron DeSantis, making it clear he doesn't only target conservatives. But critics felt Maher crossed the line. "Melania isn't a public official," one conservative commentator said. "She's a private citizen now." This just feels like cheap shots for easy laughs. Some also questioned whether the jokes were clever or just cruel. It's not the first time Maher has faced that kind of criticism. Reactions remain divided. Maher's fans praised him for fearlessly mocking the powerful. His critics called the routine another example of media bias. Trump's base backed him up, while others rolled their eyes at what they saw as another overly sensitive response. But in the end, both men got what they wanted: attention. Maher got his viral moment. Trump got to play the role of the loyal husband, a persona that resonates with his supporters. And the audience, they got another dose of the never-ending political drama. This isn't the first time a comedian's joke about a political figure's family caused backlash, and it won't be the last. From SNL's skits on Sarah Palin to Michelle Wolf's roast at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, comedy and politics have always had a complicated relationship. What makes this moment stand out is how it reflects today's media culture. In a world where every joke can spark a cultural firestorm, comedians like Maher walk a fine line, push the boundaries and risk backlash, or play it safe and fade into irrelevance. For now, Maher seems more than happy to keep pushing. Trump, meanwhile, sticks to what he knows best, defending his image and fighting back loud and fast. This exchange may not change much, but it adds another episode to the ongoing clash between comedy and politics. One thing's certain, whether you love or hate it, this drama isn't going away anytime soon. And for the rest of us watching it unfold, at least it's never dull.
Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door.
Comedy and politics collided again this week when Bill Maher, host of HBO's Real Time, took aim at both Melania Trump and far-right activist Laura Loomer in a scathing segment that quickly blew up online. Delivered with Maher's usual mix of sarcasm and blunt honesty, the monologue got plenty of laughs, but also sparked another wave of outrage, especially from Donald Trump, who fired back in trademark fashion with an angry post on social media. Maher kicked things off by mocking Melania's famously cold and distant image. Melania Trump is what happens when a supermodel marries a circus clown, then spends 8 years pretending she didn't, he joked. The audience roared and Maher only doubled down from there, referring to her controversial 2018 visit to a migrant detention center where she wore a jacket that read, "I really don't care, do you?" He said most first ladies try to show empathy. Melania looked like an Instagram villain who just realized people suffer. The line hit hard, digging up one of her most criticized moments as First Lady. Maher also joked about her continued absence from Trump's 2024 campaign. She's like a reverse Michelle Obama. He said, instead of when they go low, we go high. Her motto is when they go campaign, I go to the spa. The comment played into the long-standing belief that Melania prefers the comfort of private life over public responsibility. If Maher's jokes about Melania were sharp, his takedown of Laura Loomer was brutal. Loomer is self-described Islamophobe and far-right activist, is a known figure in Trump's circle and an easy target for satire. Laura Loomer is what happens when a Twitter troll gets a press pass, Maher said. She's like if Alex Jones and a YouTube comment section had a baby, and that baby was raised by a paranoid AM radio host. The crowd erupted, but he wasn't done. Maher went on to mock Loomer's history of wild stunts, from chaining herself to Twitter's headquarters after being banned, to her repeated failed runs for Congress. She's the human version of a breaking news banner on Fox News, he quipped. He ended the segment by sarcastically praising her for keeping the tradition of extreme right-wing punditry alive. We need people like her, otherwise how would we know where rock bottom is? As expected, Donald Trump didn't stay quiet. Just hours after the episode aired, he blasted Maher on Truth Social in an all-caps rant packed with his go-to insults. Bill Maher, a failing comedian with terrible ratings, just made disgusting comments about my beautiful wife Melania and great patriot Laura Loomer. He wrote, washed up hack. Only the radical left thinks he's funny, sad. His response was full of rage, self-praise, and the usual insistence that he's still winning. Trump supporters quickly rallied, attacking Maher online, while liberals gleefully shared the post as more proof of Trump's thin skin. Social media turned into a war zone. Hashtags like hashtag Maher vs Trump and hashtag MELANIA Rose trended for hours. Maher's fans praised his boldness. Finally, someone said what we've all been thinking about Melania's don't care energy. One user posted, others cheered his dismantling of Loomer, calling her a cartoonish symbol of the extreme right. On the flip side, Trump supporters accused Maher of bullying. This is what liberal elitists do, one MAGA influencer posted. They hate strong women who don't follow their woke agenda. The backlash was loud and predictable. Comedy critics were split. Some argued Maher's jokes were fair and well-aimed, while others said he crossed the line. There's a fine line between satire and cruelty, one media writer noted. Maher went too far that kicked off yet another debate. Are public figures like Melania, who isn't a politician, fair game? Supporters of Maher say yes, Melania was First Lady. Loomer is a public figure. If they can't handle jokes, they shouldn't seek. Comedy critics were split. Some argued Maher's jokes were fair and well-aimed, while others said he crossed the line. There's a fine line between satire and cruelty, one media writer noted. Maher went too far that kicked off yet another debate. Are public figures like Melania, who isn't a politician, fair game? Supporters of Maher say yes, Melania was First Lady. Loomer is a public figure. If they can't handle jokes, they shouldn't seek punches. These public clashes aren't going away. Love it or hate it, you're probably watching. And in the chaos of 2024, that's kind of the point. When Maher's sarcasm meets Trump's fury, the real winner is anyone who enjoys a good political mess.
Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. But they left out my favorite feature in Us Weekly, which is the 25 things you don't know about me. All the stars do it. Tim Gunn has done it. You have his, he'll be out here in a minute. And I did it. It's practically a rite of passage. 25 things you didn't know about Melania. In Slovenia, I was a catalog model, which is what you call a model you order out of a catalog. I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money. Every time I look at my husband, I'm reminded of the Slovenian national dish. a fat, greasy sausage filled with cheese.
We've all been there, that moment when someone cracks a joke at your expense. Most people respond with a light laugh or a quick comeback. But Donald Trump, he's never quite figured that part out. His latest meltdown over Bill Maher's jokes about Melania Trump and Laura Loomer isn't surprising. It's textbook Trump. But more than that, it's a reminder that for someone who prides himself on being tough, he sure has a fragile ego. Let's be honest, Maher's jokes weren't exactly groundbreaking. He poked fun at Melania's distant public image, comparing her to a luxury hotel concierge stuck to a PTA meeting. He called Loomer the result of letting the comment section of a Breitbart article write a memoir. These were standard late-night comedy lines, not unusually cruel, just routine jabs. But to Trump, even mild mockery feels like a full-blown attack. His furious all-caps rant on Truth Social like a teenager lashing out in a group chat wasn't just over the top, it was embarrassing. Once again, the man who claims to be the king of comebacks folded under the pressure of a few jokes. Trump followed his usual pattern, playing the victim, claiming Maher made disgusting comments about my beautiful wife, pretending Melania is off-limits despite being a public figure for years. Then came the tired jab at Maher's ratings, which, by the way, aren't terrible, and the inevitable I won in 2016 and I'll win bigger in 2020 for Flex, because somehow it always circles back to him. And of course, the post was in all caps because nothing screams calm, collected leadership like yelling through your keyboard. This isn't thin skin, it's no skin. The same man who mocked disabled reporters, war heroes, and political opponents can handle a light dig at his wife or a fringe supporter. The double standard is laughable if it weren't so draining. Experts have long pointed out Trump's deep insecurity. Truly confident people can laugh at themselves. Trump's tough guy image crumbles under even the smallest poke. That's why he lashes out at critics, fires anyone who challenges him, and still complains about SNL sketches from years ago. Compare that to past presidents. Obama laughed along with the anger translator bit. George W. Bush embraced his awkward image after leaving office. Even Biden, who isn't known for sharp wit, has shrugged off jokes about his age. Trump, on the other hand, he lashes out at critics, fires anyone who challenges him, and still complains about SNL sketches from years ago. Compare that to past presidents. Obama laughed along with the anger translator bit. George W. Bush embraced his awkward image after leaving office. Even Biden, who isn't known for sharp wit, has shrugged off jokes about his age. Trump, on the other hand, reacts like a siren going off at the slightest criticism. What makes all this even more ironic is how often Trump's base talks about owning the libs through comedy. Right-wing comics like Tim Dillon or the Babylon Bee are celebrated for their jabs. But when a liberal comedian like Maher pushes back, suddenly it's bullying or elitist. The message is clear. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. Loomer's case is a perfect example. She's made a career out of provocation, stunts, and wild claims. But when Maher roasted her as a walking Twitter fight, she and her supporters acted like he crossed a sacred line. The irony is staggering. Trump constantly tries to project strength, but every tantrum like this undercuts him. Imagine how much more powerful he'd seem he just ignored Maher or even laughed it off. Instead, he keeps proving what critics have said all along, that behind the bluster is someone who can't take even the lightest heat. This goes beyond comedy, it's about leadership. Being president means dealing with constant criticism. If Trump still can't handle jokes without spiraling into angry rants, how does he expect to handle real crises? And the funniest part of all this, Maher wins every time Trump responds. That's the dream for a comedian, to get under someone's skin so much they can't stay quiet. Trump's outrage only brings more attention to Maher, more headlines, and more people watching his show. It's the ultimate cell phone. You'd think someone who's been in the spotlight for decades would have learned the golden rule. If you don't want to be roasted, don't set yourself on fire. But Trump never learns. He feeds the media circus he claims to hate and plays the victim while pretending to be the strongest man in the room. So here's some free advice for the former president. Next time someone makes a joke, try laughing or say nothing at all, because the only thing worse than being roasted ... is showing the world you still can't handle it.
Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. But they left out my favorite feature in Us Weekly, which is the 25 things you don't know about me. Do you read it? Do you have mine? There you go. And we got a hold of Melania's. It's not in this magazine, but it's coming out soon. Would you like to hear Melania's 25 things you didn't know about? All the stars do it. Tim Gunn has done it. If you have his, he'll be out here in a minute. And I did it. It's practically a rite of passage.
Just moments ago, Bill Maher set the internet ablaze with a ruthless takedown of former First Lady Melania Trump during an episode of HBO's Real Time. His segment didn't just nudge the line of political comedy, it blew right past it. What could have been typical satire turned into a viral firestorm that's already drawing fierce reactions from Trump supporters. Maher kicked things off by revisiting one of Melania's most controversial moments, her 2018 trip to a migrant detention center at the US border. She famously wore a jacket that said, "I really don't care, do you?" In bold letters, most first ladies try to show empathy when visiting children in distress, Maher said dryly. Melania showed up looking like the villain from a teen dystopian movie. The crowd roared with laughter as Maher mimed a disinterested supermodel casually waving at crying kids. Then the jokes got even more personal. He zeroed in on Melania's absence from Donald Trump's 2024 campaign trail, joking, "She's like a reverse Michelle Obama. Instead of when they go low, we go high. Her motto is when they go campaign, I go to the spa." The jab landed hard and reinforced the long-held perception that Melania prefers the perks of being First Lady to actually doing the job. But Maher didn't stop there. He ended the segment with a sharp hit aimed at the Trump marriage itself. "We all know Melania's real motto," he said. For better or worse, but definitely for worse, the studio audience let out a collective gasp before bursting into applause. Online, reactions were instant and divided. Some called it a brutal truth bomb, others labeled it misogynistic and mean-spirited. The timing couldn't be more explosive. Trump is currently trying to present a more controlled, focused image heading into the 2024 election. But history shows that jokes about Melania often send him into full meltdown mode. This seems poised to do exactly that. Even among Maher's usual audience, some critics are wondering if he crossed a line, while Many agree that Melania, as a former First Lady, is fair game for comedy. Others felt the comments about her marriage stepped into unnecessarily personal territory with little political value. Still, defenders argue she willingly stepped into public life, benefited from it, and can't expect to be off limits now. One thing is clear, Trump's reaction didn't take long. He quickly jumped on Truth Social, calling Maher a third-rate has-been and even threatening legal action. True to form, he framed the segment as a personal attack, adding fuel to the media circus that now surrounds the story. And that circus isn't leaving town anytime soon. Analysts predict Trump's anger will dominate headlines for days, keeping Maher's jokes and Trump's outrage in the public conversation. Whether this moment marks a dangerous dip in political discourse or just another chaotic Wednesday in American culture wars depends on who you ask. Some say Maher is pushing the limits of satire in a time where political figures and those close to them are more exposed than ever. Others argue it's a cheap shot wrapped in a punchline, lacking substance but guaranteed to go viral. Either way, it's working. Maher gets the spotlight. Trump gets to play the aggrieved victim, and viewers, whether laughing or cringing, can't look away. It's the latest round in a never-ending battle between outspoken comedians and political power players. And in true Trump fashion, his threat of legal action only guarantees more people will tune in to hear what Maher says next. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Until next time, take care.